Awesome Sauce. Right, I was asked not so long back to make a supernova. Now, people's sort of in the mind's eye of a supernova can be a little bit different. In my mind's eye, a supernova is sort of an Aura type thing. You know the Apple Mac desktop that you get? That type of thing. So I'm going to show you how to create a cosmic with an Aura or supernova type environment. Right, so yeah, let's get over into Pixelmator and do that. Right, so I'm going to go File New, and I'm just going to make it 1080 by 720. If you're making a desktop background, make it bigger. Yeah, make it bigger. But I'm just doing this because it fits video well. I'm just going to drag this out a little bit. What I'm going to do, first and foremost, I'm going to fill my background layer with black. So I'm going to select my black colour, select my paint bucket, and just fill it with black. Then I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to go through this quite quickly, right? So if you need to, just go back and slow it down on the video. It's a video, you can do that. So I'm then going to grab my brush, create a new layer above that layer, and these are the default brushes, right? So these brushes here that I'm using are just the default brushes. And on the default brushes, you've got one at the bottom row. It might not be on the bottom row. It's wider if this is wider though. So it's this 100 one here, right? So it's the third one away from the 70 leaf. Okay. So if this leaf here, just make it bigger for you. It's the third one away from the leaves, right? So all I'm going to do is select my colour. I'm not going to choose white, I'm just going to choose just off-white. And I am going to paint my sky, my stars. So my cosmic portrait begins, shall we say. And then I'm going to keep the layer selected. I'm going to select my selection tool. I'm going to go down to my effects browser. And I am going to find the Starshine. Right, on my Starshine, I'm just going to grab the, it normally, when you default, it sort of defaults like this, so just move this box over a little bit. You can change the radius with it like this, and yours might default to this sort of size. So all you want to do is move it roughly to where you want to do it, and then drag the radius down of the star, drag the cross scale to something you're happy with, and the cross opacity again to something you're happy with, and put it somewhere that you're happy with, and click OK. And now if I copy that again, and do it again, and drag and drop it on again, what it will do is put it in exactly the same place. So I'm just going to, so you wouldn't necessarily see, just drag this string and move it across. And I'm just going to make the radius a little bit smaller on that one. I'm going to click OK. And I am going to do it again just for good measure. And it will take you to the last place that you copied one. And this time I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, but I'm going to drag the opacity down. So, and just click OK on that. Let's have a look at that. I'm not very happy with that, so I'm going to press Command Z on my keyboard to get rid of it, and I'm going to do it again. But this time I'm going to make the radius a little bit smaller. Click OK, and yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, that'll do. Right, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to create a new layer, and I am going to go to my gradient tool. And I'm going to find quite a busy gradient. If I've not got quite a busy gradient, but on linear, I'm going to create one. So just click anywhere in the gradient and just select a colour. Let's have this colour as a green colour, and this, drag this up here and have this colour as a blue, and this one as a yellow. So yeah, that's quite a busy gradient, I'm sure you'll agree. And I'm either going to go from top to bottom or left to right and drag that gradient across, left to right I think. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my lasso tool, I'm going to make a small sort of shape. When that small shape's connected, I'm going to press Command X on my keyboard to cut it out, and Command V to paste it, but it'll paste it on a new layer. So the outer, I'm going to highlight on my layers pane and delete, and the inner is going to remain there. I'm going to grab my selection tool, and I'm just going to scale it down a little bit because I don't want it too big, and I'm going to just rotate it again just a little bit and drag it somewhere in the middle. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my effects, click OK on that. I'm going to go to my effects browser, and I am going to find pointerlize, and I'm going to drag it to that layer. Drag it down to about 9, 10 pixels, whatever, and click OK. And then I'm going to go zoom, and I'm going to drag zoom onto it as well. So it gives you this fantastic light. Look, it's awesome light. Okay, so you can sort of make it this way, you can make it that way, you can make it up or down or up, whatever. But I sort of just want the middle to create my. And then you can change the strength of the zoom as well. But I don't want it too strong. I want it somewhere along these lines, okay? Because then what I can do is just drag the opacity down a little bit if need be. Okay, so I'm happy with that for now. I'm then going to go back to my layer again, create a new layer and go back to my gradient tool. And this time I'm going to take away some of these brighter colours, and I'm just going to leave my dark colours. So what you want to do is drag the gradient layer tab and just drag it off the screen, and it will remove it for you. So yeah, let me just get rid of some of these layers like this and add a new one here and make that red. And then I'm going to make it radial and create a new layer. Now on that new layer again, I'm going to grab my lasso tool and I'm just going to draw a circle around, a random circle around my my gradient. I'm going to press Command X to cut it, Command V to paste it, then delete the outer, highlight the outer, and keep the inner. Go back to my selection tool, drag the inner to the middle, make it a little bit smaller, and rotate it again a little bit. You don't have to do this. This is just experimental stuff that I'm doing here, really. I'm just messing about and drag the. And this is, remember, this is really rough. I'm not drag the pointerlize onto this. Yeah, this is really rough. I'm not trying to make this perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Let me stick some Gaussian blur on that to just show you that you can do that as well, and drag some zoom onto that and sort of move my zoom to where I'm happy with it. Click OK, and then drag the opacity down. Then I'm going to duplicate this layer, and this is all just trial and error, right? Duplicate this layer and make this top one colour burn, so it just gives a deep burn behind as well. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight these layers, select them all, highlight them, and merge layers, and then drag the opacity down a little bit. And this is my supernova sort of environment. There's lots of variants of this you can do, obviously, and you can keep messing around with these colours. And let's say, for instance, I added, what could I add? I could add, if I added a sunbeam, I'd drag the sunbeam, make it a little bit bigger, and drag it up off the screen like this. So that just gives it a bit more brightness to the colour as well. So yeah, you can do that as well. So I hope that's helped you out, and if you have any questions, please give me a shout. And if you want to make a variant of this, or you're struggling now to make a variant of this, you know, you could do it more as an explosion as well, and you would use clouds with that. But yeah, that's as easy as it is. Hope this helps you out, and I'd love to see some video responses. You could even put a text on there with supernova on the bottom, and colour burn it as well, so it would sort of stick itself to the screen. But yeah, there you go. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you all soon. Bye.